And we are ready to roll. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Melanie Mitro, and you can see Chris Parrott there on the screen. The two of us are your hosts this evening, and we couldn't be more excited to share with you a little bit about what the coaching opportunity is all about. So tonight we're going to walk you through some points of just truly why Beachbody coaching has really made an impact in our lives and some of the really good benefits to building a business like Beachbody. So we're going to walk you through coaching. We're going to give you guys an opportunity to ask us questions throughout the night. So don't be shy. This is your first time ever using Zoom. Please know that you can drop us a comment at any point in time, and you can check us out. All right. So let's go ahead and let's kick things off. So guys, my name is Melanie Mitro. For those of you that I didn't invite you to this call, I actually started my journey with Beachbody in May of 2011. I actually have a degree in psychology. My undergrad is psychology. My master's is in special education. And if you would have asked me 7 years ago, 8 years ago, if Beachbody coaching would have been my career, I probably would have laughed at you, and then I would have asked you, what is Beachbody, right? I had no idea that the company existed. I had heard of some of their programs, Insanity and P90X and Slim and Six were some of the first programs that I knew of, and but I didn't know there was an opportunity, a business opportunity attached to it. I saw it on the infomercials. I thought P90X was super hard, and Tony Horton kind of scared me. And it wasn't until after I had my second little boy. So Bryce, actually I have two kids. I have Landon, who's now 10, and Bryce is 8. And when I started my journey, Bryce was only 6 months old and Landon was like 2.5. So I've sort of called myself an accidental coach. I started because of my fitness. I really needed to get the weight off after having both of my boys. I had gained like 70 pounds with each pregnancy. I mean, I was like the side of a barn. And I was really, really, really having a hard time just figuring out how to manage life with two kids, being a new stay-at-home mom, not in the workforce anymore, trying to figure out my body and who I was. And I was really having a hard time. And I made a social media post about eating celery and trying to lose weight. And a woman that actually my husband and her husband went to high school together. We were friends on Facebook. She reached out and asked me to join a challenge group, which is what we do here as coaches, is run these online accountability groups. And instead of actually responding to her invite, I went and I creeped on her social media, and I saw that she was normal, number one. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll respond. Number two, she had a transformation that was very similar to what my body looked like in the before photo. And she had two kids, and her page was just inspiring, and there was great recipes and motivational quotes and people's transformations. And I thought, okay, this gives me hope. If she can do it and she looks a lot like me, seems like we have similar lifestyle, then I'm going to give this a try. And so I started my journey in 2011. I started with Insanity, which Shaun T fans, that is like the hardest program to start with. I remember days where I laid on my carpet in the basement, like crying after the warm up because it was hard. And, but I was like determined to make a change. I was sick and tired of not having confidence, really sort of like it affected my marriage. It affected my energy level. I didn't have any clothes to wear. And so I was like, I'm going to get this weight off. And so I started on this journey. I fell in love with the challenge group, the nutrition plans, the fact that I could actually eat really good quality of food and lose weight. I didn't have to starve myself or do crazy crash diets. And what ended up happening is I not only lost the weight, but I really adopted a very healthy way of living that I have taught my kids, my husband, and my family. So I started coaching then shortly after that in July of 2011. And I'm just going to show you really quickly my transformation story, just so you can see kind of where I started. So this was me. This is my son, Landon. This is what I looked like before I started my journey. This is me now. This is me with 70 pounds of baby weight on there. And then this is a more current picture. And this is the full shebang, right? That's from start to finish. This is what I look like on day one. So May 2nd, 2011, stood in my kitchen, put my camera on self-timer, took those photos, and that was the journey. And so what happened is I started coaching because I really felt like I had a story to share. And I felt like women out there didn't know that there was a way other than going to the gym and getting a nutritionist and all those things. Like there was a good, healthy way to lose weight. And I just made it my mission to educate women. And so I found myself naturally sharing with anyone that would listen. And so this little business that started at my kitchen table with less than 100 friends on Facebook. I did not have an Instagram or a blog or a YouTube. I had never did a live video in my life. I had never taken a selfie before. I just threw myself out there, and I really was just willing to learn because I knew that my story would make an impact. I knew that people needed what I had to offer, and I believed that I was the right person for the job. And I jumped full force, and I have gone from new coach to achieving a lot of significant milestones in the business. I have been an elite coach for 6 years, which is the top 0.01% of the company. And I am so blessed to have a team that has been the #1 team in the company for 4 years. So I think that's pretty incredible. We have an amazing team of leaders, and I have found that I truly have a passion for teaching, leading, inspiring other people to truly reach their fullest potential. So I feel like this job has just given me so much more than an incredible paycheck and freedom, but it has given me a sense of community and fulfillment and purpose that I never knew was even out there as an option. All right. So I tried to make that short and sweet. And I am going to stop my screen share, and I'm going to turn it over to Chris so she can introduce herself.
Everybody, can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, we're good? Okay, awesome. So my name is Chris Parrott, and I am a personally sponsored coach of Melanie, and that's something that you'll understand like as you come into the business, what this personally sponsored coaches and all of these things mean. We walk you through all of that. But I am the most unlikely coach. And this is why I love doing this with Melanie, because she's an amazing leader. And we'll talk about this later. But I'm the unlikely coach. So let's see here. I have every excuse to be too busy. So I'm a senior HR professional with the government. I work for the Department of Defense. And so I am senior career. I've been doing HR for 20 years. I have a 6-figure income. Like, life is great for me, right? I have a bachelor's degree in political science and history. I have a master's degree in business. I have certifications in human resources all over the place. Like, why would I be a coach? So I have this career going on. And then I have 2 boys that are 7 and 8. I have to stutter because the one just turned from 6 to 7. I'm used to saying 6. So they are 6 and 8, and they are busy. They're in all the sports and the activities and everything going on. So I'm busy again. And then my husband works full time, and he is working on his PhD. And so you're just like, oh my gosh, why would I be coaching? Like, where do you find the time for this? But I'll tell you, back when I started with Beachbody, and I started I was a customer many, many, many moons ago when like the very first Power 90 came out, and I'm pretty sure it was on DVDs. I don't think they ever did anything on VHS, but like it was a really long time ago. And like many of us, we have kind of a graveyard of the workout programs or things that we've tried and it didn't work and it failed, and then you come back again. And so after I'd had my second child, and there was this one Saturday that my son came over to wanted to play with me and just wanted me to get up off the couch, and I had no energy. I was still 200 pounds, like over 200 pounds, and it was awful, and I had no energy to play with him. And I just it was that moment that something snapped, and I said, I have to do something. I don't know what it is. I don't know where I'm going to find the time, because now I have 2 kids under 2 at this point that I am trying to have my full-time career, and I'm climbing up the corporate, I mean, I call it the corporate ladder because people can relate to that, but I'm climbing up the federal ladder, with my career, and that was important. So I was like, what am I going to do? And it was at that exact time. So I had known the Beachbody name. I went back to it and I said, okay, what do you, just checking the website, what do you got? And they had a 30-minute program come out, and it was P90X3. And I was like, okay, like, I remember Tony, he was the goofy guy. That was funny. Okay, but it's 30 minutes. I can do 30 minutes. I will commit to 30 minutes. Had no idea. I committed. I did the whole 90 days. Couldn't believe it because I'd never completed another workout program before in my life. But I didn't lose any weight. Didn't even know how to eat. Like, this becomes huge in my journey, because more of the background on me is anxiety, depression. I've struggled with my weight my entire adult life. I've binge eating, emotional eating. You supplement that with alcohol and everything else. And no kidding, I was still overweight. Let's blame the babies, but in reality, it's not like I was in the best shape before I got pregnant either. And so this program came out with these little containers. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to starve. It's terrible. But I've got to try it, because she said I could still have wine, and then I could have guacamole, and the things happen. And if you guys don't understand this program, you will, because this is the foundation, the heart of what we do, of balanced nutrition. And so if anybody can learn it, if I can learn it, anybody can learn it. And so I started following this program, and I lost 70 pounds following it the first time around. And I say the first time because I followed it for 4 years and had amazing results with the program. And I'm going to share this right now, and I'm going to share a little bit more of the story. See if I do this right here. I'm going to share my entire screen, and then let's make sure if you guys can see that okay. And so this is my first time. This is the first round of pictures here for me. And you can see that horrible, please don't take my picture, side view. And then I finally hit that 70 pounds. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel amazing. I feel fantastic. But then last year, some really bad things happened for me. And I was following a program, and when there was undiagnosed things with my health, there was a horrible, I was in a really toxic work environment when I was, we were in some terrible financial situation. All of these things were compounding, and I didn't know which way was up. And so this program that had done so well for me was just that. It was a program. It went by the wayside when I wasn't emotionally strong enough to be able to follow this anymore. And so what ended up happening is apparently this had happened for a number of people with the containers and in the system and the program that they'd had, because it was just follow a program, and people weren't tied to it emotionally. They didn't understand why we needed to eat and how to educate ourselves better. We just knew how to follow that plan. And so on my 40th birthday, which was in December, I cried because I was so far away from being at my bikini goals. And it was not where my life was supposed to be going. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go revisit these containers again, because I know they work. That's what I'm going to do. And I had a blessing come, and that blessing came and said, you are going to be part of the Ultimate Portion Fix Challenge group. And if you can see this next one here, I started in January. And so remember, it took me 3.5, almost 4 years to lose, or it took me 3 years to lose 70 pounds. When I started learning the nutrition, and I started learning the hows and the whys, and addressing my emotional eating, and becoming strong enough to, even when you're facing a bout of depression or anything else, and to why you're not turning to food or alcohol, I was able to lose 23 pounds in 3 months. And I feel better about this 23 pounds that I've lost because of the emotion that I've been able to understand within my own body and within myself, and getting real with myself. So you can see that first picture, I call it the mugshot. It's terrible. Who wants to take that? Because really, who wants to be learning from a coach? At the time I'm thinking about this, I'm like, I've been a coach for a couple of years now, and I got started coaching because of a discount. And then I was losing, because you get a discount on all of your products. And then some friends of mine wanted to join. So I was the coach that I grow a little and help some people every month, and I'd run the challenge groups and do the things. Didn't really understand the business potential to it. And so 3 years in, I didn't want to show anybody these pictures. And I I'm going to unshare my screen now.
I can't see your transformation. It's not working for some reason.
It's not working?
No,
oh no.
I can't see it. I don't know why.
Chrome tab. Can you see?
Let's see. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
That works.
Okay, so I'll show everybody if you didn't see it first. This was my 70-pound journey right here that took me 3 years. This is my 3-month journey with 23 pounds. And this is when you start learning your nutrition. And these are all the tools that you're given as a Beachbody, as a coach, as a customer, as everything. So this Ultimate Portion Fix came out, and it just lit my fire again and helped me understand it. Oh my God, do I want this picture shown as a coach? What was that going to inspire? That inspired a ton of people. When you got brave enough to show these pictures, and I think I'm stopping sharing now. Did I stop sharing?
Yep. I just can't see your face.
I'm so new to webinars, but I'm not. But there we go. But it was just this amazing realization that a lot of people needed to see the human side of coaching, because you have this in your mind that you have to be perfect to coach, and you don't. Like, I am that person, like I've talked about, like all of these problems and all of these things, and I'm coaching. I'm sitting here with like a very successful coach who is my mentor, who is this amazing friend, and I'm growing a business. Like, she's helping me grow a business, and she's helping our team grow, and now I'm helping my team grow a business, and off we go. So that's what I love about coaching, and that I didn't have to start out being like this fast runner to be successful. Like, you do these small daily actions every day that you go through, that you learn all in your training, and you are going to be a successful coach, but you get to determine that. You get to dictate that. So that's just a little bit about me, and I get really excited about this stuff.
I love it. I love your transformation, and I just feel like it's so relatable, because it happens, right? We come in, life happens, we lose the weight, we gain the weight, but the thing is we're always here, and it's always sustainable, and it's always something that you can come back to, and there's just some supportive community. So what we want to talk about tonight, now that we've kind of introduced ourselves, you know who we are, is we really want to talk to you about, why Beachbody truly is the best option. And for those of you that are on tonight, like, just drop it in the comments. Like, are you interested in creating a big business? Are you interested in, creating just a little supplemental income? Are you here because you want to get into just the best shape of your life, and you really want to focus on you first? What is it that you're looking for in this opportunity? Because I think it's good for us to know, as the host of the call, kind of what your agenda is coming in. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information. So Beachbody is a company that was created, I actually forget now. It's like 2007 is when our network was actually born. So we've been in business for a long time. We are a health and fitness company. Our focus and our mission is to help people achieve a healthy and fulfilling life. And we do that by helping people by using the fitness programs that Beachbody's created. About 4 times a year, they come out with new products, new programs, new nutritionals, ways for us as coaches to support people on their journey. And yes, Beachbody is network marketing. And if you would have asked me in 2011 what network marketing was, I would have had to Google it. And I actually did have to Google it in order to figure out what it was, as crazy as that may sound, right? But Beachbody is a company that truly does stand behind our products, our programs, and we don't have things that are just for people that are at, the advanced fitness level. We have an entire product catalog called Beachbody On Demand that has yoga and Pilates and high impact, low impact. We have cardio focused workouts. We have strength training. We have muscle building. We have leaning. We have 20 minutes programs. We have hour-long programs. It's like we have everything in between. And then we also have nutritionals that match each one of those, right? So we have Portion Fix, which is what Chris really saw amazing results with, and myself as well. Plus we have 2B Mindset, which is another sort of nutritional theory. And that's the big thing, is both of them are focused on proper nutrition, education, knowing why you're eating the way that you're eating, so that it's not just a program you start and finish, but it's a lifestyle that you can adopt for the rest of your life. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Chris, and she's going to talk a little bit about just like, we're going to go through some points of, why Beachbody is just a really great option. All right. So I'm going to let you go ahead and take it over.
Okay, so Beachbody being a really great option. I think one of the first things that everybody needs to understand, Mel asked you guys to drop in the comments like what your goals were. It can be all of them. Because I am one of those, like, it has now evolved into being all of it. So maybe it just is needing to be your weight loss journey, and you need to be extra accountability to that, but you also have this growth potential that you control. And so I see people dropping that they want to replace income goals, or they have big goals and stuff like that. I didn't have those big goals at first because I didn't want to admit that I needed to have them, because I had this career. My husband and I both had very successful careers. And I'm going to share something that just happened and why Beachbody and the ridiculous growth potential that we have here with this company is amazing for anybody, is that a coach of mine came to me and said that she was going to cancel because she needed to save some money. And I went, what? And like, we started getting into it a little bit more and digging in, and she was talking about how far in debt they were, and she couldn't see, and they were drowning in debt. And I was like, that made me realize something that I haven't shared with everybody, is that my husband and I moved a couple of years ago, and we moved to Washington, D.C., and it is super expensive there. And we didn't plan for it well. And like all of these things, and all total cumulative, like we had over $300,000 in debt. I've never admitted this to anybody before. I'm sharing this with you guys now because I realized after talking to my coach how important it was to share this, because I couldn't see up. Like, you couldn't tell where you needed to be and what you needed to do and how to even begin to take those first steps to legitimately build a business. And when I got serious about that, and I said, oh my God, are you kidding me? The answer is right here in front of me. The company that has given to me to understand my nutrition, to understand my fitness, to take control of that part of my life, is now here offering me this opportunity that I can control. I can dictate the effort that our family is going to get out of this, to be able to have financial freedom, to be able to have and live that life by design that people only think about and dream about. And I'm going to do the disclaimer right now that Beachbody tells us that we have to do. They do not guarantee any level of success or income. It is all based on your hard work and effort. But I will tell you guys that we're in the first 4 months of the year. I've got 2 surprises to talk about here, but I'm going to tell you right here, we've already paid off 2 credit cards. We're about to pay off a car. And by the end of the year, the credit card debt will be gone. One of the car payments, if not both of the car payments, will be gone. And you guys, anybody can do this. Like, all of us can do this. And so we've got this message, and we have this growing, people are out of control with their debt and how they're managing things, or they just aren't happy in their careers, or they just want more of something in their lives. And Beachbody just comes to us and says, hey, guess what? You're going to work on your health and fitness. You're going to become your best self, and you're going to help everybody else become their best selves. Who doesn't want to be a part of that? It blows my mind. So yeah, we just have this ridiculous growth potential that we all get to dictate. And I think that's fantastic.
That's amazing. I don't even think I knew that the $300,000 thing. I don't think you actually told me that before.
No, I've never admitted it out loud. And it was just before I went on vacation that one of my, which I can't wait to tell everybody about vacation here in a minute. I want to talk about it on a different point, but it was a coach. When she said that to me, it just hit me like square in the face. Like, I haven't talked about this. I need to talk about this more. I need to share. I've hinted, and you kind of dance around it, but people can't relate to that. And 300,000 will bring us free and clear of all the debt minus our primary mortgage. So that's.
You talk about a weight lifted off of your shoulders. It's like, I can live, it's amazing. Right. So, okay. So I'm going to do point number 2. And that is that, honestly, the number one question that people say to me is, again, I don't have the money to sign up, or, how much is the investment to get started? And people say that they want to start a business and they want to have freedom, but then they go, but I don't have money. I can't do it. And I think about two things. Number one, the investment to start a Beachbody business is legit nothing, right? It is $160 is like your base package plus shipping and handling. But when I think about the fact that I bought a challenge pack, and that's what you buy when you sign up, and your challenge pack kind of bundles your Shakeology, your nutritionals with your fitness bundle, and then you can add in your nutrition in there. But I think about the fact that when I signed up, I was given an opportunity that now 7 years later has made us multiple 7-figure incomes. That's insane, right? And some similar to Chris, like we had a lot of debt when I first started coaching, and we were not going to make our last student loan payment until Landon went to college, and we were able to sit and pay that in full because I believed in my ability to change other people's lives, and because I believed that I had a story that mattered to other people, I was able to create this incredible income with $160 investment. And I used my birthday money that was given to me in order to sign up as a coach, right? And so for me, it wasn't like a matter of, well, if this works, it was like, there is no other way, right? And if you think about people that own for example, my brother-in-law, he owns an Anytime Fitness gym, right? And so in order for him to open that gym, it was hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment in the equipment, in the build out, in the insurance, employees, advertising, and there was still no guarantee of success. He still had to go out and market and find people to come in and use the gym, right? And then he had to have retention and people that were going to continue to come and make sure people were happy. You invest $160 and you can make 6 or 7 figures if you choose. I mean, and I know sometimes people are like, really? Like, really, you can actually do that. And I think that's just super incredible, and a point like people need to know is their investment is so small, but the potential is so big. And the next part that I really want to talk about is the best part about this business is you get to determine that income. So if you want a big business, then we'll show you how to build a big business. If you want a business that covers the cost of your monthly Shakeology and things that you purchase, if you want to get the groceries paid for or pay for a summer vacation, sure, we can tell you how to scale your business based on what your hopes and dreams are. Some people say to themselves, I just need a little extra income, and that's fine too. But you get to customize this coaching experience to what you want, and you get to really determine what success looks like for you, and that's a pretty cool opportunity to have the ability to do that.
It is. The $160 still just blows my mind when we start talking like return on investment and everything. Is just, I find it to be amazing. And so you would think building a 6-figure business or a 7-figure business, or even just like whatever level that you want to build, that there's going to be tons of competition. And so I just want to take a moment on this one here, because this was kind of like something that I got hung up on, because I work for the government and all the bureaucracy and the political backstabbing and everything else that goes on with this corporate climb that you do. And I get into this environment here, and especially on our team. Like, our teams are just like, I've never experienced anything like this. And I've been working in the professional industry for a really long time. Is like, you have an upline that is there to support you, that is there, and it's not competition. Like, you could outwork your upline. You could, it's not based on seniority. It's not like the person's always going to be better than you. You get to dictate all of that, but they're all there to support you, and they want to see you succeed. And, everybody succeeds when you do succeed. And it still just blows my mind that to this day. And so I've been involved with the Dream Team for quite a while now, for a number of years. And I've yet to find somebody that is just like not willing to help, or not willing to share, or not willing to do something like this. And we've all got a lot of resources, and we've got a lot of these great ideas. So we have this great leadership. And then that leadership trickles down and creates more great leaders who create more great leaders. And like, you just have this environment of like caring and sharing. And so to this, now I finally, like, it's like this trust thing. And so I go to work at my full-time career and I try to spread that. And people are like, whoa, you're sharing information? Like, what's going on with this here? And it's so weird, but it's just, it feels good. And then like you meet some more people. So you're kind of spreading that around for everybody. And they're like, what are you doing? And then they want to know about coaching too. Cause they're like, you love what you're doing a lot more than you love your full-time career. And it's like, yes, I do. Like, this is great. This is so much fun. And so, yeah, it just, I don't want anybody to think that they can't, like, they're like, this is anything but supportive, and you're going to be supported in your entire journey at whatever level that you want that to be at. And I think that leads right into another great point in this, is like, this is your business at the same time. So while Melanie runs her business one way, her and I don't necessarily speak to the same people, in the same setting. Are we both boy moms? Yes. Are we both all about Beachbody? Yes. But I couldn't tell you how to put makeup on to save my life. And Melanie is just like, it's gorgeous. I love watching when she does those videos, and like, we have all the different things that we do. And like, we do have champagne in common too, because as coaches, we aren't crazy on our nutrition. We're fit-ish and stuff like that. But like, I have my people, I have my business and who I talk to, and she has hers, and everybody else on the team has theirs. And there is a lot of room for people. There's a lot of room for everybody's business, because until you can tell me that the obesity rate amongst adults and children are not continuing to climb, there is enough room we need a lot more coaches, and we need a lot more coaches out there helping people design their business. And so that business takes on whatever you want it to be. And you might think that you have to work 15, 20 hours a day, and you don't. So you dictate that. When I first started, at the bare minimum, we have something called a power hour. I did it on the 30-minute commute I had into work and on the 30-minute commute on the way home. I built a business that way, on my commute, because I didn't have the extra time with what my kids were doing and how my schedule was going. And as the time has grown, as my team has grown, I dictate when I work on weekends. If I work on weekends, if I work on vacation, I'm on vacation right now. I can't wait to tell you why I'm on vacation or how we're on vacation. But I want to be on this call. I wanted to be here today to share this with all of you, because this is something that you can take anywhere. But you dictate that and you define it. And the amount of effort that you put into it is the amount that's going to come back to you. And I truly do believe that. And so you don't have to be a slave to your computer. You don't have to be a slave to the business in order to build a successful business. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing too is, we as your mentors, right, we get to teach you. So we have paved that road, right? And so we are able to give you best practices. We're able to say like, hey, right now on social media, these are the trends. And the awesome part is you get to build your time. Right? You get to say, I want to work 5 hours. I want to work 10 hours. I want to work 15 hours, right? You really get to say like how big or how small you want your business to be. And when you look at businesses out there right now, like 8 out of 10 businesses actually fail. Isn't that insane to think about? Like 8 out of 10 businesses people start actually fail. And it's not, and here's the biggest thing that I want you to consider. The reason why businesses fail is because people either don't have belief in what they're doing, they don't believe in the mission of the company, or they don't have belief in themselves. And so one thing that I really want you to think about tonight as we're talking is like, look, you are never guaranteed success, right? It's always going to mean hard work, but I truly believe that you can build an incredible business. But first you've got to take a look in the mirror, and you really have to say to yourself, do I believe that I have what it takes? Am I coachable? Am I willing to learn? Am I willing to fail my way forward? Because look, Chris and I have made more mistakes than we can ever count, but every single mistake that we've ever made has been a learning opportunity that has grown us into the person we are now, into who we are becoming, and it has allowed us to share. When we share those failures with our audience, with our social media, it gives people hope to know that they can do it too. And so, Chris can't sit here and say, we guarantee that you're going to succeed. We put that on you. we put that on you, but we certainly are going to give you the tools. We have our one-on-one mentoring. We have weekly team calls. We have our coach training university that we do. We have get-togethers. We get together at least 4 times a year for our Super Saturdays, team retreats. Like, you have more than enough resources. It's about implementation. It's about acting and actually doing the work, like Chris said. Another reason why coaching has made a big impact is the word I was looking for in our lives, is this concept of residual income. So when you own a hair salon, right? I'm just going to use that as an example. Or when you're a chiropractor, you only get paid based on the clients you physically are adjusting at that moment, or hair that you are doing. And if you're not physically in the salon working at that moment, you're not making money, right? So if you don't show up to your job, you're not getting paid. But with Beachbody, the really cool part is when you start growing your business, when you start to find like-minded people that you can link arms with, that can be in business with you, you start to build this thing called residual income, which means you can go on vacation for a week and you're still making an income. It means that when something happens in life and you've done the groundwork and you have a team, that you can step away and your team is going to step in and your income is still going to continue to grow. And that is something that blows my mind. I could sell product all day long, every day, but there was a distinct point in my business where my team, my residual income surpassed what I was doing with my own personal sales. And it was like mind blowing. Like my husband and I at first were like, really? Like that's really happening every single week. And the company sets us up for new product launches and new opportunities for us to continue building that residual income. So I don't like to make it sound inauthentic, but like you kind of make money like sleep, and that's kind of cool. And I think for me to know that I will have that income that's going to keep building is amazing. Now, the next thing is in a business, especially like Beachbody, at the beginning, I really had to work super hard, right? And so I think about the grit that I started in my business. So I didn't have an Instagram account. I didn't have very many friends on Facebook. Nobody saw me as a fitness coach or a health coach. That wasn't my background, like I said before. But I will tell you that at the beginning, I worked super hard at building my following. I worked super hard at showing up consistently on social media, once a day, twice a day, sharing in my stories. I really focused on creating consistency in my message and showing people how I was doing what I was doing through my public feed. And so what happened is at the beginning, I was working super hard, but eventually what happened is this pressure that I was applying started to create what we call, it's like this momentum, this compound effect. And so I was applying the same pressure, and now I was starting to get more results, and my momentum was beginning to build. And because I've never stopped being consistent, and those of you that know me, you know, I'm up every day, I'm doing my workout, I'm doing my personal development, I am showing up in my team page, like I am leading by example, and it will catch momentum, and it is crazy what that ripple effect can have. And I think that you have to, it's a trust factor. Like when I was like telling Chris at the beginning, like, trust me, just trust me, it's going to come together. It's like, you really have to believe in what you're doing, and just like all of a sudden it takes off. Okay. All right. Letting you go next, Chris.
Oh, it really does take off. And trust is a hard thing for me because, being the perfectionist and being like a little OCD on this thing and the type A, and she said, trust me. And I was like, well, I don't have an Instagram account either, and you have a big one now, you do have to have that trust, and that comes. And so Mel hinted that one of the other things that we've been able to do, so she hinted when she said being able to take a week vacation with your family, she just got back from the cruise. I couldn't go because I had a work issue come up that I couldn't go, but Beachbody, you get to earn these cruises, or I'm sorry, it's an annual trip that you earn. I earned it, couldn't go. But I just got to take my family to Disney for the very first time. We've been avoiding like some trips and some extras and everything because of the financial stuff. And I just paid cash for the entire thing. And I surprised my husband and he didn't know. He's like, wait a minute, where did that card come from? Because I do all the finances in the house. And so that's even more embarrassing, but I did. And he's like, where did that card come from? And I said, that's my Beachbody card. And it just paid for this entire trip. And like, we didn't have to worry about one thing with them. Like we'd set aside and it felt so amazing. Because of that effort, because of that getting up every single morning and doing those workouts and sharing and inspiring and pouring into your team and pouring into the people like with what you're learning. And that's what it is. We share what we're learning so that they can then share and they can go and apply it to what their teams need. And so as long as you're willing to wake up and do that work, like that's in that effort, like I can't guarantee you success. Especially, I don't know if we have any lawyers in the group here tonight, but I can't guarantee the success, but I can guarantee that if you put in that work, you do the effort, you can look at me or you can look at Mel and honestly say that you've done those things that we tell you to do every single day. You're going to see results. You will see the results, you will see the success, and it will happen. And you know what I love is that I get to tell the people, I get to choose the people that I work with. And so I don't get that in the government job that I have. Like it's very hierarchical and they've been around and like, you've got the person that's like been there for 35 years and they're never going to go. Nope. I get my whole team. Like I get to decide who I work with. I get to decide when I work with them. I think that is really the best part of this is like I get a team of like really like-minded people that are like pushing for the same goals. Doesn't mean we all have to be the same, but we're all pushing for that hard work and for those goals and those things that we want to do. And when you surround yourself with that, that becomes even more powerful in the things that you can do and the things that you can all accomplish together. And so like that community and that relationship that get built along the way, I think is amazing. So being able to have that trust, because I didn't have that trust in a career. And so I just, if more businesses were built on what we have here, I can't even imagine the success that they would have. And so I don't understand why, the government hasn't taken this or like private industries haven't taken the opportunity that we have between like with network marketing and with the relationship management skills that you're taught here and apply them forward, because it just, mind, body, and soul, what you learn and what you develop and what you grow blows my mind. And then that you can pay that forward and that anybody can do that. And not only that, you're doing something significant. So I'm teaching my children how to like beat the trend, not just end the trend. They're going to beat the trend before it even becomes a problem. My boys understand and they come up and they're like, we play the category game and they're like, protein, let's name proteins, and it sounds like a really geeky thing, but I am so proud of them because, we can name ice cream and then we can name protein, like, and we play the category game and we name as many of them as we can, but we've taught our kids that. Like I'm teaching my kids now to not have that horrible relationship with food that I had growing up, and to educate them. And we're teaching other people that now too, that just, we grew up with different sets of rules and values and understanding of what food was or what fitness was or what health is. And, we're looking at the covers of all of these magazines and every week there's another diet on a magazine that somebody wants to try because they want like the quick fix when they don't understand. Like the quickest fix you can have is to learn and keep learning and become lifelong learners of education and nutrition and then build your business on helping others, because that's a significant impact that you are making on the world in your little area. And you might not see it from day one, but that first customer that you sign up and the first time that somebody comes to you and says, because of you, I didn't give up. Because of you, I have my transformation picture right now. Because of you, my family, I got off cholesterol medicine. My husband got off the cholesterol medicine. We're not pre-diabetic, you name it. Significant. It is. I have goosebumps talking about it again, and it doesn't get old. It never gets old. So for all the crazy and the hard work that you put in and all of that effort, it will come back to you tenfold, not just on the financial side, but on that significant impact side of life that you are making. Sorry. And so Mel could talk about she's going to talk about the larger your business gets. Like that's, I think is really important too.
It is, and it all starts with one person. And I think as you're sitting here listening and you're like, but where do I start? and how do I get started? And I think in life, we tend to overcomplicate. We tend to overthink things. We tend to psych ourselves out before we get started, but it's like one person, just start with one and focus on who's the first person you can help. Right. And start with yourself. If you're like, you know what, I really need to embrace this journey for myself, then that's where you start. You get to choose, right? And it always starts with hard work, right? It always starts with us first. And the best part is we are going to teach you the steps in order to build the business, but we're going to keep it simple. Not here to overcomplicate. We're not here to make it harder. We are here to improve your quality of life and to give you that freedom that you desire. Of course, with hard work too. But as I've progressed, now I've been here 7.5 years. I've been doing this business. I still love it just as much as I did on day one. And I realized that I am still, because I'm kind of weird. Like, I love to work. I enjoy working. I can't imagine not working. But I also realize I've built such a business at this point that I could scale myself back. I don't need to work as hard as I did, but I'm still going to get the same amount of income. And it's because I've done that groundwork for myself. And so what happens is that it's just sort of that exponential growth that happens with your effort along the way. But I will tell you, it's all because we built the foundation first, right? We focus not on just the dollar signs, but both Chris and I really say, how do we help people? And we both started with ourselves. We both said the only way I'm going to be able to serve other people is if I gut check myself first. And it's got to be mindset. It has to be confidence. It has to be nutrition. It has to be fitness. It's the total package. Because when you feel good about where you are going to sing those praises to other people. And you can't help but walk away from this business as a different person, right? And I always say, if nothing else, you've invested $160 in yourself and you are a more positive person because of that. And, Chris really alluded to just how negative work environments can be. And you may even said it pretty directly, right? Like this is the one thing that I love is we are a team that doesn't stand for the gossip. We don't stand for the catty stuff. It's like, look, we're here to help. We're here to help other people. We're here to support one another, and we're going to have a good time doing it, right? And we are going to live life to the fullest. And so I kind of want to close us out just a little bit and just walk you through just kind of what you can expect and what you need to do if you're like, I really do want to pursue this. I really want to become a part of this team. I can see myself doing this coaching opportunity, and maybe you don't know all of the ins and outs, but you're really 100% ready to give it a try, then these are a few things that I want you to think about. Number one, I want you to say to yourself, like, am I okay with making mistakes? Am I willing to pick myself back up and try again, right? Am I willing to put myself out there on social media? Because a big part of what we do is in fact sharing our story, and it is really documenting how we do what we do. Now, don't worry about not knowing how to share your story. That's something we will teach you right in the accountability group, right? And right in our training. The next thing is like, am I coachable? Can I take advice? Can I show up to calls? Can I do the work? Am I an independent self-starter? Am I confident in my ability to figure it out? I always said, like, I built my business on like Google search bar and like YouTube, right? Because we didn't have a training system like we actually have now. And that's sort of the next piece. If you're like, yep, I can do all of those things, I believe in myself, then we want you to sign up. And so you're just going to go to the person that invited you to this call tonight. You're going to send them a message right now, and you're going to say, I am ready. I want to get started. I want to be a part of your mentoring program, because I know I'm only taking a select number of people. I know we all sort of have a cap of what we feel we can personally handle and give that quality support. And so the next step is to say, I'm ready. And then the next step after that is you get to go into our accountability group to help you with your own health and fitness goals. And to get that experience, if you've never been in one before, you're going to go right into our Coach Training University is what we call it. And it's basically a step-by-step resource that you're going to use to help you get started. And your minimum in your first 3 months is identifying 3 people that you can help get started on their fitness journey. My first 3 people, my husband, my mom, and my sister-in-law, right? And then it was like my sister-in-law's friend, and then the girl that does my nails and my facials was my next, customer. And honestly, it was started small, and then the more I started sharing, the more people were getting results. They referred their friends, and it just kept growing exponentially. But really think about who would be my first 3 people. It may not be family and friends. It may be complete strangers, but at least start thinking, who can I help? All right. So we are going to host our new coach kickoff call. We know we're going into, a holiday weekend. So next week we're going to have a new coach kickoff call, which is where we'll welcome all the new members to the team. We'll host a call to help you get started right. And we will begin teaching you how to instantly, within the first 30 days, start making an income and also replacing your initial investment. But you got to be willing to do the work. You got to show up, and we're going to have a great time doing it. And it's going to be so much fun. And we are going into the spring and summer season where everybody's ready to get back in shape for the summer. We've got a new product that is coming out in July. We're going to have new nutritionals and new things on the horizon. So there is no better time than now to become a coach with our team. All right. Is there anything else, Chris, that I needed to add that I may have forgotten or you want to add to the end?
Oh, no, this is I love the information that we're able to give to people. And I think when they can hear it from us directly and to be able to connect and to talk to everybody, you understand, you see that passion, you see that excitement that we have. And people want to be part of that. They might be scared. They might not, they might be a little nervous. They're like, I think I can do it. But then they're looking and they're like, wait a minute, you two are up there and you've got a whole network. You figure this out. I can figure this out. We're all smart. That's just it. Is everybody, we're smart people. We're smart ladies that are all in here. We can figure this out.
Totally. All right, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this tonight. I want to just leave you with just a final thought, right? There is nothing worse than having a dream and letting your dream die and you still continuing to live, right? How many times have you had a dream in your heart, right? And you felt like there's no other way. I'm never going to accomplish this, and that utter defeat. And it doesn't have to be like that in your life. Everything you envision, everything you see your life that you want in your life can become a reality if you have the courage to take the first step. So I'm going to leave you with that tonight. I hope to see you as a part of our team. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this evening, and we will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.